Hey everybody, thanks again for joining us this week at KonKon's Cantina. This week we are announcing the giveaway winner. Congratulations, Shelly Marie. Yes, Rochelle, you have won the Mandalorian 3D printed blaster from Woodtech Armory. Congratulations. Thank you to everybody who showed us support and entered the contest. And don't worry, we will be doing another giveaway soon enough. This week, we dived into some nerd culture. We wanted to give you a little preview into our lives, talking about what we collect and why we collect it, especially when it comes to Star Wars. Next week, we will be touching on episodes 2 and 3 of Season 7, The Clone Wars. Don't forget, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcasts. It really does help the show and promote it to other people who are still not listening. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you can join our Facebook group. We have tons of active people in there, and we're always commenting and sharing ideas for episodes and talking about pop culture and Star Wars. So without further ado, here's a little glimpse into what we're spending our money on, I guess.
Welcome to KonKon's Cantina. Grab a drink, sit back, and relax.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to KonKon's Cantina.
We back! Ah!
That was loud.
That was. Spike the mic. Ears are bleeding.
I'm excited.
The blood in the ears.
Listen,
is the problem.
we're getting hype, guys.
I want to talk about all the things I wasted money on.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're going to do. But, listen, I'm your boy, it's KonKon, okay? And of course, sitting to my right, mixing it up, not going directly across from me this week,
Oh, snap.
the tallest man in the room.
Usually. Unless Andre the Giant's around.
I'd say 9 times out of 10.
But if Andre the Giant's around, then we're like, uh-oh.
He did.
Zombie.
Yeah, exactly.
Zombie Andre.
Do you have a steak? Give me a steak.
Oof.
Kill him.
Ugh.
Form an alliance.
Storm in the castle. Russell Allen. Yours truly.
You're now known as Storm in the Castle.
Oh, okay.
Russell Allen. I'm with it. And sitting directly across from me, the PR man, the man of 1,000 names.
What's up? Justin Baker, professional catchphrase maker.
The man.
Ask my wife.
The we back man himself.
We back.
Guys, listen, we are a Cantina podcast. So we're going to go into the Cantina right now.
Welcome to KonKon's Cantina. What are you having? But remember, no droids.
This week, I am drinking something from my reserve. Now, if you didn't know, you're about to know. I have a full-size monster fridge in my man cave, my boy, whatever you want to call it, okay? my
boy
office,
room?
the boy room. You know, I got toys everywhere, and that's what we're going to be talking about, okay? Toys, and, you know, I got
Falling
lightsabers
off
on the
the
wall. So
walls.
in this fridge, I have a lot of one-off cans that I've gotten from
your boy
Tavor.
fridge.
In my boy fridge, I have gotten a lot of cans, a lot of one-off beers from Tavor.com. Tavor, feel free to sponsor us and
What is
send
that?
us
Is that like a
beers.
subscription thing? Like you pay X amount and they just send you a mix pack, or what is that?
Thankfully, no.
Okay.
You pay a flat fee for shipping, no matter how much you order. You have a 6-week rotation, right? So you have 6 weeks. Every day they have a new beer that they put up, and you get to fill your cart in a 6-week period. No matter how much you order, shipping is always $15. So if you buy $300 worth of beer, $15 shipping. If you buy one beer in that 6-week period, $15 shipping.
But the big thing is you can get stuff that's like not in distribution in your local area.
Exactly. And that's,
Okay,
and
that's
that's
cool.
exactly how I'm drinking what I'm drinking now. Exactly. That's how I get a lot of my one-off beers. I try to always buy 2 if they allow you. Sometimes they do quantity 1, but I always try to do 2. That way, if I like it, I have a backup, and then I can try to find it more. So I am drinking Rotting Earth. That is from Dorshire Brewing Co. They are from Massachusetts, United States. Alcohol 9.3%. Okay, this one will get you there quick.
Yummy.
Super hazy. The art on the can is absolutely amazing. You will see it on the Instagram. The art is by, and I hope that I don't get his name wrong because I'm going to tag him in this, but it's Sam Heimner. It poured like super hazy at first, and it turned orange really quick. And the thing that I love about it most is it is a dry hop double hop IPA.
It's funny. Ours is very similar, but taste profiles were totally different.
And I think the reason for that is because it's a dry hop and not a fresh hop. It doesn't kill your taste palate like at all. Like I could drink that and then switch to another beer. It doesn't give like that IPA. It doesn't leave it in my mouth. So I would definitely recommend it if you can find it.
We thought yours was hazy until mine was poured, and it looks like straight dishwater.
Listen, tell the people what you're drinking, because it looks like it came out of a puddle.
It is like
Holes.
Holes.
Yeah, it is the haziest of hazy IPAs.
There's a catfish swimming in that pint glass
I
right
saw
now.
it's moving. I see it moving.
It does look like lake water. It looks
does.
like dirty lake water.
No, seriously, at the end of holes when it finally rains, like the curse is lifted and like all the holes are filling with water, that's exactly what your drink looks like.
Yep.
Fortunately, I love it. This is from our local brewery, Hourglass, which is the location that we went to our Star Wars art show.
Shout out.
This is in Longwood, Florida. Great brewery.
Yes.
This is something that went on tap today, and I saw it on social media. So I figured I'd take a long route to the KKC studios and swung in and got a crowler. But what this is their Sticky Vapor Rainbows double IPA. It's a 7.6%. Double IPA, the dankest of hop aromas. We got a lot of tropical citrus. I can't say that word. Citrus fruits.
Hard words.
Flavor profile in there. It doesn't taste like your typical IPA. This also is double dry hopped, so it has a lot more of a bitter finish than your normal IPA would have. But at least to me, it leaves a great flavor on my tongue when you're done actually drinking it.
Yeah.
I give this. Oh, we're gonna do our Mando rating at the end.
Yeah, we'll do it at the end.
Russell,
What you said there, Justin, about leaving a great flavor on your tongue. This drink that I'm drinking burns my mouth every single time. I thought the first time I sipped it, I'm like, well, maybe my mouth just needs time. No, it doesn't need time. It burns every time. I'm drinking Redneck Riviera Granny Rich Reserve. It's part of a little pack that I bought.
You bought that on our very first episode, didn't you?
I think so. I kind of been holding back
Was
with
it?
it.
Was it? Anyway, 100% of the time it burns every time.
100% of the time it burns every time. Redneck Riviera is America's work hard, play hard brand. They were launched in 2014, and this Granny Rich Reserve is actually named after the main guy's grandma, Granny Rich.
He didn't do her any favors.
And it's a sippable whiskey. It's funny that the description here says it's sippable. Well, guess what? You can't drink it any other way because it'll burn your mouth off.
I love that. Sippable? No.
I was kind of trying to explain what it tastes like. It's very. I remember when I was a kid, and my mom actually loves those. Remember those cinnamon? The cinnamon. What was the name of the gum? The gum that was
Big Red?
Big Red. Thank you.
Yep.
As a kid, you know how your taste buds are super sensitive.
Yeah, that was always
yeah.
too much as a little kid.
Right. Big Red was like, oh my God, that's exactly. As an adult, this is an adult Big Red.
Mom, I'm dying.
Same exact thing. But it's good. I actually like it. Do you want to do the whole Mando rating?
Yeah, go ahead, and then I'll go, and then Justin.
I don't want to underrate this because it's not one. It's not mouthwash. I mean, I did kind of describe it as mouthwash.
Will it burn the roof of your mouth?
It'll destroy the roof of your mouth.
It'll destroy your mouth. Burning hot.
All right,
magma.
now I'm gonna judge you
4
based
out of
on this.
10
Okay,
Mandos.
I'll take it.
4 out of 10.
I'll take it. For me, I'm gonna go 7. And the reason why I'm gonna go 7 out of 10 Mandos is I would like that same formula. Oh, okay. Russell just took a sip.
Yeah, sorry.
Listen, if you had gingivitis, it's dead now.
It's true.
Mouthwash. Listerine Mountain Fresh. So 7 out of 10 Mandos for the double dry hop IPA for me. I would go 8 only because the dry hop I would like fresh hop. I would like the same ingredients,
But as a fresh hopped beer.
Yeah, and even as when I see double IPA, I just expected more of a hop taste. But once again, I could be wrong, but I think it's because it's dry hop instead of being
It's got
fresh
that
hop.
sharper.
Yeah, for sure.
For mine, I feel like I give 7s too much, so I don't want to give it a 7. I'm going to give this a 6. I really like this, but there are other hazy IPAs and double IPAs that I've enjoyed more than this. Appearance-wise, I love it. I love how gross it looks. It makes me happy. But taste wise, I'm gonna give this a 6. It's a solid, great beer. I'd order 2 of them if I went out. It wouldn't be a beer that if you get one, you're like, blech, give me something else. I would definitely order another one, but I give this a 6 out of 10 Mandos. It might be too dank for the other Mandos.
Guys, the agenda of this episode is we are going to talk about collecting. And when I mean collecting is, listen, we're nerds, okay?
We're all
know.
collectors.
Wasting our monies.
Yeah, whether it be full-size helmets, whether it be cosplay, whether it be video games, toys, lightsabers, things that have to do with Star Wars, Star Trek,
Marvel,
liquor, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I'm a liquor collector, when it comes to my bourbon collection. So we're going to talk about that. And then before we do that, we're going to do our special segment of the week. And we are going to be talking about irrational fears. Everybody has irrational fears. So let's just start talking about
irrational.
Don't,
you're lying.
Yeah. Let's talk about irrational fears. Mine is an odd one. Horses.
I
am
intimidated by their size.
Dude. I've seen way too many E-Bomb World videos of somebody getting kicked in the neck by a horse.
And they're dead.
And they're dead, right?
There's no coming back from that.
Think of it like we grew up with like MySpace, and we talked about that on an episode before, and like you're scrolling through your friend's MySpace and they posted that E-Bomb video. And
do you remember before they're like on like LimeWire, just like downloading like those crazy videos of like people getting kicked in the head with horses by horses?
Yeah, dude, like...
I love horses. Every time I ride a horse, I feel powerful. I think it's the thousands of years.
That's what she said.
Human
history.
Thousands of years of human history we've ridden on horses, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's like literally like part of our gene, like our genealogy.
I mean,
It changes you when you get on a horse. But I could see why it's scary because they're massive.
Appaloosa is my favorite type of horse. And Appaloosa is only when the rear end of the horse is spotted. So you have like a painted horse, which has a different color palette.
So you like horses from a distance.
So it's funny because every time I play Breath of the Wild, I always prefer the horse with the spots on its butt.
There you go. That's an Appaloosa. That is my favorite type of horse. I have ridden horses, but I just have a healthy respect because I do not want to literally die. And Superman got taken down by a horse, okay? If Superman got taken down by a horse...
When did he get taken down by a horse?
I don't remember. Oh, because... he actually fell off his horse and broke his neck.
Yes.
What's his name?
Keanu Reeves?
No. Keanu Reeves?
No, I'm just kidding.
What's hilarious?
Christopher Reeves.
I almost said Keanu Reeves. Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I wanted to trigger somebody.
5 degrees of Keanu.
Listen. So anyway, my irrational fear.
So are you afraid of their like faces, like giant horse face? Or are you afraid of like their...
No.
You ever feed a horse an apple? It's the most amazing thing to watch. Oh yeah,
carrots. It's just, walking around a horse, I feel nervous, and it's a healthy fear, but I've literally had nightmares where I've been kicked by a horse and I have been maimed in some way. So that's mine.
Mine's pretty obvious, spiders. But it's funny because I think I can trace it back to my childhood. When your parents would have to send you to your room because they're watching a movie that they think you're too young to watch. Mm-hmm. Well, I remember the house I grew up in, the way the stairs were kind of directly perpendicular, I guess you could say, to the TV. So I'd pretend like I was going out to my room, but I wasn't. I was looking through the bars or the stairwell,
the railings or whatever you call them.
And I remember the scene where he like reached under the lamp to I think
scene in what?
Arachnophobia.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Where she turns on or off the lamp, and she I guess it sucked her blood and made her frozen in place. I can't. I refuse to watch that.
I don't think I've seen
arachnophobia
movie as an adult,
but as a kid, it's just. Anyways, my irrational fear is spiders, and then I still have a fear of turning off and on lamps to this day.
Just because of
I will literally search, look under the lamp first. Okay, good. I'm in the clear, guys.
You gotta look up that lampshade, And that's exactly the point. We were talking about this, before we were recording. Like, what's the chances of you getting bit by a spider and dying? Pretty much next to zero.
Yeah. In my mind, 100%.
Well, exactly, and that's.
I guess in Florida where we are, we only have a brown recluse or a black widow. Are the only two options.
I will say, Russell's gonna hate this. Went to put on my work boots one day.
No.
Don't you?
That's another irrational fear.
There was a black widow in my. Yep. It was dead. That's when I was still doing pest control. It probably crawled up into my boot and literally died from residual pesticides that were on my boot. I kid you not. Seriously. Actually, no, that couldn't have been it. Fun fact, the only way you can kill spiders from a pest control perspective besides stomping on them is spraying their webs, because spiders recycle their silk.
Oh, so they like re-ingest it and then...
Yes, arachnids do not clean themselves like insects do. Insects have 6 legs. They lick their front mandibles. They clean them. This is way too much information. Justin, what's your irrational fear?
Before we move on from this,
Okay.
I have to say I'm very proud of myself because I recently finished an extremely long book dealing with my irrational fear, spiders. And
Is
I'm
it Spider-Man too?
I do love...
Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking it up. It's Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky.
Okay.
And that book is so long, but I'll give you a very quick synopsis. Basically, it takes place in the future or a very long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Anyway, I digress.
Certain point of view.
From a certain point of view. Basically something goes awry with this like experimental planet where apes were supposed to be like super evolved into humans, but the apes get blown up in space, and then the only thing on the planet are Portia spiders.
Sounds like a horrible book.
And they are
Portia spiders? Like...
Yeah, Portia spiders.
Oh
Look
my
them
god,
up.
horse
I don't know.
spiders.
Oh,
Come on, let me finish this.
Sorry.
Portia spiders are one of the biggest like huntress
heard of those.
of the spiders.
Okay.
Anyways, they're a very intelligent creature.
Okay.
One of the most intelligent
I want one.
insects on Earth. Anyway, they get the metamorphosis chemical instead of the apes, and it takes place over thousands of years, and they end up kind of becoming like the
Spider-Man too.
sentient like life on this planet. It's
I wanna read
incredible.
I want to read this.
It's a very long book. It took me months.
Was this audible or did you actually read it?
Audible.
I might get that because I got some credits to spend.
Anyway,
I wish
highly
I had
recommend
Audible
it.
credits.
My
Justin?
sister actually is the one that turned me on to that book.
Yeah, I'll have to check it
I
out.
have a very irrational fear because it doesn't match up to things that I'm not afraid of. And it's extremely specific.
Okay.
It is driving on overpasses on the like interstate or like 417, like a big toll road, somewhere where there's
So
big
over or under?
like going over, like big sweeping overpasses, like when you're like super high up in the air and it's a banked turn.
So you can't do the 414.
Oh, I do them all. I just like double clench, like grind my teeth as I'm like like
Have you ever been under an overpass and noticed that it moves?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you feel it. So just this past week, we went picture taking on the turnpike, and we had to get off on the only bridge on the turnpike, and these semis are blowing past us going at 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there feeling the bridge going up and down.
I know that's.
Is this making you nervous, Justin?
no. I love it.
It's my
No,
favorite.
I have this fear of like, I'm like, especially some of the ones where there's like a road that you're on and then there's another overpass in between yours and the ground road. I just imagine like now is when my tire is going to blow out.
Yeah, of
100% fact. It's going to blow out right now. And I'm just like going to hit the guardrail, tumble, flip over. And it's not always been like that.
Never tell me the odds.
It's not like this is a weird new thing like post 30 that I've developed. And it makes no sense because in fire school, rappelling down buildings.
Yeah, exactly. Me
On
and you
work,
both
just-
fire school.
In work, like I have to like do things where I'm up extremely high on 3-4 story buildings and I have to inspect things, check things that are going on, like zero fear about that.
So it's
But
not
for-
a fear of heights then.
No, it's not heights. It's just like I think it's something happening out of my control because there's so many factors out of my control, whether it's another car or a blowout that I'm not expecting. Like that is what freaks me out.
Yeah. No, totally get it. Well, guys, collecting.
Don't judge me.
I'm not. I get it, man. It's almost like when you get near this irrational fear, you kind of have like this outer body experience where you imagine yourself going through the part that you don't want to go through. You know, collecting. You know, if we had to give,
Oh,
just
man.
a slight intro,
Deep hole.
the deepest of rabbit holes. I used to collect a ton of Star Wars toys.
Is that where you started?
Where did I start collecting? No, collecting was definitely Pokemon cards. Like if I had to pick like an origin of collecting,
That's a
definitely
good one.
Pokemon cards.
I went through that stage.
I remember my windowsill in the first house growing up. It literally was the scene of Hoth. Like I had like a miniature AT-AT, the ATSDs. Oh man, it was an entire. I have a picture of it, but I don't have any of those toys. I don't know what happened.
Was it Hasbro Matchbox that made the minis?
Yeah, I
Micro
think that's
Machines?
probably what it was. I don't
Oh.
remember exactly. It might have been Hasbro, but it was an entire Hoth battle scene.
Yeah.
On
Oh,
my
yeah.
The Micro Machine little ones?
Yeah, the small ones.
So Star Wars, there you go.
Yeah,
Star
there's
Wars.
Star Wars, of course.
And
Justin.
then Pokemon cards was shortly.
Yeah,
afterward.
Pokemon cards. I mean,
Collecting, man. Pokemon cards definitely probably would have been one of the first things where I just got obsessive about it, where I'm like tracking down things, finding like rare Japanese versions of things and stuff like that. But
what was your most prized Pokemon card, real quick?
Most prized? See, I got out early in the game.
Ooh, I got one.
I got out early in the game. I think just because it was like the first hardest to find card was just like the standard holographic Charizard.
Oh yeah.
Like that one was like
the Japanese edition.
I had them all.
Yeah.
But I think the first thing that I really started to collect was action figures. And it spawned from, like, I always loved action figures as a little kid. But then, like, in the late 90s and early 2000s, they just started upping the game of the realism and the detail in them. And it switched in my head where, like, I didn't want to play with them. And I just wanted to have them to look at them. I think that's the first thing that I really started, like, buying and not playing with.
My prized possession for collecting Pokemon cards when I was little is I had a Japanese holographic Team Rocket Mewtwo.
Oh.
Now, I remember when I was young.
I remember what that looks like.
It's Mewtwo looking back at you over your shoulder, and he's putting one of his three bald fingers over you.
Yeah.
And it was a rare, so it had a star down at the bottom. He only had 70 HP. He knew what I'm assuming was Shadow Ball. I couldn't read Japanese, but it was 60 damage, and he had another attack, which was probably Psycho Cutter, which was 20 damage. And I just remember that card in particular was what I thought was very rare. And as I got older, unfortunately, I had lost that card, and turns out that card was, of course, worth money, and I still don't have it.
Yeah.
One of the other toys.
Never look back at what you had when you were a kid.
Oh,
no.
dude.
You'll always cry.
And you want to know what will make you cry? I had the original Optimus Prime toy, flat nose trailer with or flat nose semi with the trailer. That was worth money. But I didn't collect those. But the other thing that I collected is not actually 3.5-inch figure Star Wars.
The 3.75s.
I collected the 12-inch.
Mm-hmm.
That is
like the Barbie size.
Yes, I loved the 12-inch. I had everybody. I had Vader, Luke, Qui-Gon. When the new movies came out, Obi-Wan, Maul. I had Leia, Luke, Han, Chewie. I actually still have them. They're in my attic. But yeah, that was like my biggest collection
by now, man.
Yeah, Florida, right?
I remember the first, the big. I mean, lightsabers right now is big for me. But I remember. I don't remember the year, maybe 1996, 1997, probably earlier than that, to be honest. But you remember the original lightsabers? They had of course, the Obi-Wan.
Like the ones that would slide out like that.
Yep. And you had to get them at Walmart or whatever. Oh, yeah. And that was when, by the way, the Star Wars aisle at Walmart
was an entire aisle.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
You go now and it's like 3 toys.
Do you guys remember?
And it's all Last Jedi.
Yeah, right. Like you said, do you remember the lightsabers and the toys came out before Phantom Menace?
Yeah. That's why I'm saying it was late 90s.
You were like looking forward to know who the heck this guy was going to be.
It was probably around the time the special editions were in the theaters.
That's exactly what it was.
Okay, so my original first lightsaber that I remember like specifically asking my sister Becky to take me out to get was the Return of the Jedi Luke green one, which was like one of the hardest ones to find. And I remember I was the envy of the entire neighborhood that I had the green one, because everyone had the blue one, of course, and then the red one, Darth Vader's, but no one had the green one.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
That was one thing I always wanted. I remember I had a ton of the, what we're talking about, like the Hasbro it took
plastic
2D batteries, plastic.
Oh, yeah.
It made the sounds. It just had the little light, whatever. But man, we beat the crap out of each other with those lightsabers. And my favorite one, I don't have it anymore, but it was Qui-Gon Jinn's, and I got it for Phantom Menace. I wanted a green one like Luke, but obviously Luke wasn't in at the time because it was Phantom Menace. But I got Qui-Gon, and same thing like you were saying, Justin. It was like Walmart, the whole aisle was Star Wars toys.
It's funny because I remember Danielle Hoyt, me, and then another friend, AJ, were in my front yard playing. And then like a week later, one of my friends down the street were like, yeah, we saw you guys playing lightsabers, and I wanted to come over and...
Yeah, exactly.
And he, at the time, I think he was a junior in high school, and he wanted to come play with us. Dude, like barely middle school.
Let's just go in the street.
We are starting a KonKon's Cantina dueling league.
Exactly. Let's do it out in the street.
Niles already said he's in.
We need to buy those China sabers. Okay, $60 a pop, and we just need to bruise each other.
$25 a pop.
Severely bruise each other. Talking about lightsabers, though, is there like a favorite? Mine, which I definitely have up there. I guess the reason why I loved it so much is because it's so impractical. I'm talking like lightsabers are real, but Galen Merrick from the Force Unleashed games, He has a
Star Killer.
Star
if you don't
Killer.
know him by
Killer,
his
yeah.
real name.
He has a Graflex style lightsaber. Okay, so Graflex is the original Luke saber that we see in A New Hope from the 1977 Star Wars movie. It has what's called the bunny ears, and that came off of a camera. It came off of a Graflex camera. That was the pipe that held up the flash
gun.
for the camera.
Yep.
And so Graflex styles have always been my favorite. Being a photographer myself, having something that's a part of Star Wars history that came from a camera is like a big deal to me. So I gravitate towards Graflex. So Galen Merrick's having that exposed crystal chamber. There's pictures of it actually on the Instagram already. That's the one in the Hourglass Brewing pictures. It has just that exposed crystal, which in a Star Wars perspective, if anything happens to that crystal, your lightsaber is no longer going to work.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, so it's completely impractical.
Cosmetic.
Yeah,
But it is
completely cosmetic.
gorgeous
Looks
when it's
awesome
on.
though.
And that would definitely be my favorite hilt. Does anybody else
So
have
are we
a-
talking about favorites period or favorites that we own?
No, just favorite period, whether it be style or maybe somebody's in particular.
Man. Russell, you have one? I got to think about this.
I mean, the Graflex is my all-time favorite. I mean, when I see like the original A New Hope with the bubble card and everything, I just
love the bubble card.
fall in love. I mean, I love the bunny ears. I love the whole deal. But if I had to pick one that wasn't just Graflex, I would say the thin neck from Return of the Jedi, the green one, just because of the memory of my childhood having the green one.
Which is part of the Graflex. That's just with the outer shroud taken off. Trivia fact.
Is it really?
Yep.
I had no idea.
If you take the shroud that's got like the top piece off and you slide it off, the thin neck part is what's underneath that.
And if we talk about lightsabers as a whole, actually, Justin, did you think of like your favorite?
My favorite, man, they all fluctuate because it's whatever I'm trying to get at the moment is my favorite.
We're constantly looking for deals.
I just
Yeah.
said Return of the Jedi because that was the one in my memory, but I'm actually waiting for a Venzalo saber fully installed from Corbanth. I've been waiting many
That's definitely
weeks, Randy.
It's a
give
pretty,
me my
it's
saber.
a really pretty saber.
Now you remember this saber from the Old Republic video game cinematic where Venzalo gets stabbed by Malgus as they're attacking the Jedi Temple, and it falls and rolls.
you were deceived.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
God, those cinematics are amazing. If
Who
we
did
had
those?
to,
I can't remember the name of the company that did those, but they were like charging like $1 million a minute for doing those CG of those videos for
Well,
the
they're
Old
worth
Republic.
it. They're incredible, especially for the time period they came out. Incredible.
lightsabers, we have too many of them.
Yes.
So, for me, I have like 8 currently.
Have I counted mine?
So I have like 8
Currently, or the ones you're waiting? Because I know you're waiting.
Yeah,
on
I know,
one.
right? Well, I'm waiting on 2 actually. Shh. Don't tell people. But I mean, some honorable mentions. You got to give it to Hasbro, the newer Hasbros, the ones that kind of have the removable blade. And
I mean, you gotta give it to those Force effects, like
The original Master
the
replicas,
original like
yeah.
Master replicas and Force effects that kind of started
Yep.
everything. Like where like, oh my god, you can get a realistic looking lightsaber that lit up and made sounds and clashed.
remember Brooks, Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble.
had them behind
Yeah.
the counter all the time, and that was
have-
actually my first one. Is the one that's behind me is my Return of the Jedi Luke that came from Barnes and Nobles.
The non-thin neck, thin neck.
Yeah, right. It's a thin neck.
looks
That's not
cool.
a thin neck. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it was the original tech of the whole NeoPixel where the LEDs actually went up, extended and retracted.
Yeah, it was like little
Yeah.
LEDs that were like 4-inch blocks, so they would turn on in
Yeah.
sequence.
And of course, everybody
still
would
have
fight
mine.
with them. And
Oh yeah,
then
you always
break
had
the
a,
LEDs.
You always
Mine
had a
is-
dead spot halfway in the middle.
I am guilty of the dead spots. I have a New Hope, or no, I'm sorry, Revenge of the Sith, because I cosplayed before cosplayed was that a thing.
Yeah.
In 2005, Revenge of the Sith, I was on the local news down there and everything. It was kind of crazy.
What theater was that?
The movie Code 24 in Pembroke Pines.
Why don't I
man.
know which one that is?
It's
That's in
literally
Pembroke
shaped
Pines.
like a
That's like South
Egyptian
Florida.
theater.
oh,
Yeah, it's South Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge, massive pillars with
Yes,
Egyptian
yes.
hieroglyph like carved all.
I've been to that theater before.
Beautiful theater. I don't even know if
We're
it's still
losing
there.
people right now.
Okay. Well, if you're from Pembroke Pines, not so much.
Yeah. Hey, then they know.
It's no longer a movie co.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I digress. It's anyway, yeah, I still have that, and I remember fighting with it. Like that was when they didn't care about people suing you, so they actually had
Which-
like lightsaber
which saber
dueling
was
in
this?
the middle of the.
Yes.
Which saber was this that you had?
This was the Revenge of the
It was his
Sith.
Anakin
Master
one.
replicas. The Anakin one that's
The
on my wall.
Anakin. Okay, gotcha. Oh, the one that doesn't work now.
It works kinda. You just hit it and it turns off and on real
Props
quick.
for holding
Hey.
on to it that long. I had 3 of them and I lost them in the move, and I looked up what they're worth now.
That
and
hurts
I
me, man.
Cringed. It's very bad.
That's actually one that I'm searching for now. Is I want Yoda's Hasbro.
Yeah.
The little tiny,
Yeah, the little
sleek
tiny
hand.
one.
His hilt is so sleek.
I gotta have that one. But if we're talking about durability, go ahead, Russell.
Well, I was just gonna say I'm actually building a Shoto hilt. It's an Acolyte
it's
Shoto.
yeah, it's small, right?
Offhand saber. If
Yeah.
you're not in the loop.
Yeah, it's for dual wielders. It's an offhand, so it's not your main hand, and it's about maybe 30% smaller than a normal length.
Is that what Shoto means?
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
Shoto
know.
sabers.
It's from
are
Saber
offhanded.
Forge. I got it for like $50 on eBay. Anyway, I just engraved it with Sith lettering last night. Revan lives.
Is it allowed to be translated?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Well, we already know, so we don't have to sacrifice C-3PO's brain.
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll just get his memory back.
Right,
Yeah,
because that's
you know.
all that matters. Anyway, so yeah, that's the whole Vader Sabers thing is what I'm actually selling it on my Etsy channel in probably about a week or two. So.
If we're talking about durability, I've had some choice words for savvy sabers at Galaxy's Edge. Now, some people, they don't have the amazing opportunity that we have, which is living as close to Disney as we do. For those who don't know, me and Russell are, 31 minutes from Walt Disney World?
About that.
About that? If we
I'm
drive fast, 28 minutes.
50 from my house. Yeah.
Justin is farther, that's for sure, but Russell is the only one here that has the Savvy Sabers. We'll talk about Savvy Sabers, but first, the Legacy Sabers, I think, are very underrated. Now, for the
They're
money
chunky,
that you're...
man, they're
Yeah.
so chunky. Of course, all the sabers.
I think
are
they're
chunky.
definitely worth the money, though.
That's
Yeah.
where it comes
Yeah.
in. Even the Savvy Sabers, you're buying the experience, and they are chunky, but having like the crystal chamber and all that, yeah, it's plastic or metal covered, like in a plastic coating.
little RFID chip in there that tells it what color to be. It's pretty cool tech.
I haven't done the experience myself, but I've watched the videos. Russell, did you appreciate the experience?
Yeah, the experience is incredible. I kind of begged my dad and my nephew, well, mostly my dad, to do it with me. I think it was the day or two before whatever hurricane was going to hit, so the park was absolutely empty, and we were able to just walk right in.
I got a question before you get too deep into this.
Mm-hmm.
What was the price point for doing this? Because I actually have not looked it up. Like what is
Like
it?
you have no idea now because it hasn't changed.
No,
Yeah, it
I've never
hasn't.
looked up what the price of building a Savvy Saber is, and I'm interested.
Well, that's one of the big reasons why I wanted to do it then, because there was no line. I
Uh-huh.
mean, I just went this past Monday, and the line was literally like,
So when we went that day for the hurricane, you didn't have to get an appointment?
nope, I walked right in.
Oh yeah, it literally was. It was
I
a
mean, it
Wednesday.
filled up. It was that morning we were in line for Smuggler's Run, which
Uh-huh.
is the Millennium Falcon ride, and I was able to pull up the Disney app on my phone and get it for like later that afternoon.
Yeah.
Me, my dad, and my nephew. Anyway, it's $200
Flat?
flat. But
Well,
if
tax.
You,
But
Yeah, but it's not.
but
like,
if you buy one of those credit chips, which are, by the way, are sold out.
I
can't
have
remember.
3, and
said
I'm
that they
keeping
have
all
two.
3.
I've
Imperial
lost one.
credits, though.
Anyways, if you buy that, you're actually going to get 20%, 15% discount. So it ends up being a little bit less than 200 with tax.
Oh, you can't.
I don't
beat
think they don't do that anymore, but
They do. They do that.
do they?
Doo-doo.
Well, if you can find the chip, which it's been sold out for like a month,
Yeah, it's been sold out for a while.
but it's pretty cool. It's a very heavy credit chip. I can't remember the name of it.
It's a Spearin.
Baturia Spira.
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 I want
It's
to
Spira.
design a lightsaber with that, like somehow like
That logo is sick.
embedded
Yes.
inside of the hilt.
Acid etch it onto
That
it.
would be
Yeah,
sick.
it's sick. So if we're talking, lightsabers, they're very important to us, obviously, as Star Wars fans. If there was like a saber, money's not an issue. By the way,
Money's not an issue right now. I mean, it is,
It is.
but-
Oh, it's always an issue. But if our listeners don't know, introductory sabers.
Yeah, we should have some expectations set for what we're talking about here.
Yeah. So like a Force, a Hasbro, you can get one used. I'd say
Because we could have sounded super crazy, like $200. That's a great deal.
Yeah, and people are like, "What? I'm not spending $200." So to put some perspective, is when you get into quote high-end sabers, we don't have to go into too much detail, but you can literally spend upwards of $700.
No, more than that.
Well, yeah, but that's
I mean,
like a going rate of like
Yeah.
a Profi board or a CFX or like which is the sound
NeoPixel,
yeah.
which is the LEDs that go up and down,
And that's why the legacy sabers at Disney, like, I think are pretty cool. Yeah, they're definitely the 1-to-1 scale is not there. They're a little bit more chunky, but for what you're getting, I think that
What is the price point of the legacies? Like 120?
170.
they start at 120 depending on the saber, and they go up to 150 without the blade,
Right.
and then your blades are going to cost you 42 to
Okay.
60 depending on the length that you buy. But if you're a pass holder like all three of us,
20%
You get
off.
10%.
we get 20% on the blades.
Oh.
So we do save a little. We do save some money there. But if there was one saber that you really want, does it really matter? I can already tell you.
I know who we might have the same. At
Who?
least the maker.
No, this is like it's the actual like Jedi.
Okay, so I don't have a specific like replica of a person's saber that's like my one that's my dream that I want right now.
But the maker, if you say Starfall,
It is Starfall.
dude, Starfall sabers.
I want to just let him like I just want to like because if you don't know Starfall, you gotta follow them on Instagram. They make some of the most beautiful.
He
makes the most beautiful like
He
one-off
does acid
sabers.
etching and stuff, doesn't he?
And you can basically
everything metalworking. It's insane.
You can give him like whatever his fee is and tell him just like create me something.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what it is. Just like surprise me.
He has a mystery box type feature where you are going to get a complete one-off, fully metal. It'll never be made again. $350, but his commissions are not open all the time. From what I've seen, he only does about 8 mystery boxes a year, and it may actually be even less than that. He may only do about 6 of those a year. So
And
you
what
pay
are the price points on those?
$350. That's it.
And you're definitely getting something that's worth more than $350, I would imagine.
For the time and effort, I would
Because
assume
it's
so.
original.
And that's the point. You will never
Yeah.
get something else again.
So I mean, it's not as cool as Starfall, but Blue Force sabers. I just picked up Goonies inspired. You may have seen the boxing video. He does completely one off, but they're not metal.
Mm-hmm.
They're cheap, relatively speaking, with CFX boards.
Not cheap in a bad way.
No, like cheap
They're
as in
inexpensive.
price point. They're
Yeah, they're
inexpensive.
inexpensive.
Yeah.
Not cheap because they are very high quality. They're 3D printed with 100% PLA, so it's a very good quality 3D print. And then he hand brushes them and paints them. Anyways, I was actually telling him that we were going to give him a shout out, and he may want to be interviewed at one of these upcoming
that would be
conventions. But yeah, they're absolutely incredible. And what caught my eye is the fact that he does these kind of cross universe inspirations. He's done
I
Lord
saw
of the
some of his
Rings.
Marvel stuff looked cool too.
I liked
He's-
his symbiote saber.
Oh my gosh, he's done a symbiote. He's done a Flash, which is absolutely gorgeous.
You are a Flash fan. I forget about that.
I mean, I'm not a huge Flash fan. I did watch the show for a minute, or
Yeah.
a hot minute.
I watched it for the first few seasons.
It got kind of bad. The
Yeah.
writing got kind of cheap. But anyways, and then of course the Goonies, which I am absolutely in love. We just went Monday to Galaxy's Edge. I'm not kidding you. Over 10 people came up to me and asked me where I got that saber. It was incredible.
Were you walking around with it on, or they just saw it in your hand?
I
or-
just had it up because I don't want to hit anybody with it, so I just kind of had it in my hand.
I'm imagining Russell like Nazi style, like up in the
No,
air.
no,
like,
no,
just dun, dun.
The blade was up. It wasn't in front of me because it was. I mean, it was literally packed. By the way, never go to Disney on President's Day. Oh my god.
Liz went.
Yeah.
Liz went too. She went to Animal Kingdom, and it was insane there.
It was. I have never seen Galaxy's Edge. The line for Smuggler's Run wrapped all the way, if you're familiar with the park, past the milk stand over by the Imperial ship, and then past that. It was insane.
Isn't it an amazing feeling to go into Galaxy's Edge with a custom saber
Yes.
and have 10, 15,
Yes.
20 people come up to you
Yes.
be like, oh my God, where did you get that? Do
Can
I buy
get
this
it at
here?
Savvy's? Can I get it at
Do I
Savvy's?
buy this here? And you're like, listen, my child, my young Padawan, you
Take
have
a card.
much to learn.
I did
As you're
hand out a
walking
lot of
with your-
KonKon's Cantina
Yeah,
cards.
you're
You're
like-
walking around with your rainbow NeoPixel blade.
Exactly. Just giving it to him. Mine is, we talked about the Old Republic cinematics earlier. Shatil San.
Oh yes,
Shatil Sands.
Her
Satil
sabers.
Shan.
I want her Shan's.
That is a beautiful double-bladed.
I want her double-bladed sabers. Ultra Sabers used to make one that was quote similar.
They
It's
have
just
that
not-
all over Facebook. The only ad I've seen for Ultra Sabers is that
is
saying,
the grand. They call it the Grandmaster.
and I'm like, you guys don't make this.
No,
you don't make
the-
anything close to this
The
anymore.
etching on that saber.
beautiful.
Now I'm forgetting the name of the saber maker. I want to say it's like GH Productions, or it's like Hexel or Helix Productions.
Hexic. Is it Hexic? I know there's a Hexic. But
Hexic or Helix. Anyway, it's a single guy. Unfortunately, he had a lot of medical issues, and he's no longer
doing commissions.
his.
It's Hexic.
It's Hexic.
Hexek.
Yes, and he makes a legit
Yeah.
Shatil Shan saber, but he's not doing commissions right now.
Yeah.
He had medical issues. I've messaged him many times. I hope he comes back, because if he does, I will give him all the money to buy that.
Yeah, I bought a custom chassis because Justin and I are awaiting a certain video game saber. Cal Kestis's Fallen Order from Saberforge. Version 2. It looks... I mean, it's the one of the most accurate broken ones that I've seen. Of course, you can buy a Corbanth, I think, as they make one.
Does anybody make the actual double-bladed one?
So that's the thing, is you can actually buy a Corbanth, get a coupler, and put them together. Hexic did it on his channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, we'll have to talk about that later.
What?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Justin and I are awaiting that, and it's going to be grand.
It's a gorgeous hilt. I was thinking while you're talking, if we're talking about a specific person's, the one specific actual like reproduction saber that I want of a actual Jedi's is Mara Jade's, because if it's a really cool combination of like a Graflex but not a Graflex. Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna
got
be
like
honest with
steel
you.
plates
Yeah,
on
it's
the
got
side.
like the vertical
yeah.
plates coming
It
down,
looks
like
really
a
cool.
meshy. It's got like a mesh looking section in it.
It's very iconic.
Yeah,
Not
People
a
are going to know you're walking around with a Mara Jade saber.
yeah.
Not a fan.
You don't like it?
I do not like it,
Oh, wow.
but that's just me. I like the purple.
Yeah.
I like the
But you
purple.
can get purple in any saber.
I know, but
Whether
I'm not a
it's-
fan of the hilt. Not a fan of the hilt.
So
And
Connor and I are awaiting a certain General Leia saber from Corbanth. We were one of the few that actually purchased them empty.
I'm so mad because...
Oh, wait, you didn't get one?
No, I did.
Okay.
I wanted to just get one installed. I didn't want to mess with it.
Dude.
No,
you got-
I know,
you got
I know, but
either you or Justin and I
I
mean,
know, and I'll end up doing CFX because I have a Profi already. And for those who don't know what we're talking about, that's the board inside the
Soundboard.
saber that tells it, what to do and all that. But yeah, we did get the Leia saber from
Corbanth.
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, yeah.
You briefly see it. It is a thin neck style saber,
It's
which
gorgeous.
The one where you see
reference-
the flashback scene.
Yep, the flashback scene with young Leia and young Luke after Return of the Jedi.
And then you see Ray kind of bury it in front of Aunt
Push it
Peru's
into the
and
sand
Uncle
of Tatooine
Owens.
for no stinking reason.
I don't know
Still
why
get
she's
that.
burying
I don't
it,
know.
but
yeah, I don't
There's
know.
probably going to be more Jedi that could use that.
Dude,
but-
yeah, aren't you gonna like train some people? Here's a saber. Because I don't know if you know, but Ilum
Ray, idiot Skywalker.
Ilum blew up, dude. We need those crystals in those sabers. Okay.
they're worth money.
Listen, speaking of things that are worth money, memorabilia.
Uh-oh.
Now this
Oh,
is I
I'm
have
gonna-
never gone down this road. Okay.
I'm in a deep hole of it right now.
I had an opportunity to buy a signed DL44 master replica by Harrison Ford.
And why didn't you do this?
The reason why I didn't.
Hold on. Preface.
If you had a DeLorean and you
To
go back in
everybody
time-
who doesn't know what the DL-44 is,
Yes.
it is the iconic pistol Han has.
Yes.
You see him get it in a Solo story.
Yes.
It is what he always has.
which
So
I never knew was part of a rifle. That was cool.
That's why it has so much kick. Mm-hmm. It is part. It is
like
part
a
of
hand-
it. It's an Imperial rifle
mini bowcaster
that turns
almost.
into a pistol. It changes. It's so the DL44. My favorite model is the one that's in A New Hope. It's different in all three movies. A lot of people don't realize that.
As
Luke's-
is
Like Luke's
everything.
Jedi lightsaber.
Yeah, exactly.
They had some budget issues.
Yeah, so I had an opportunity to buy it. A friend of mine had a boss at the time that had paid an exuberant amount of money for it. Came with a certificate of authenticity and all that. And I was gonna get. He just wanted to get rid of it. He
What was
wanted
the
his money
price?
back.
How much?
See, and this is where the story got weird.
$1 million.
$850.
Do it. Do it.
And I tried, and I was
Do
gonna.
it.
I had the money, but what he bought it from, and I can't remember the name of the site. But
Wish?
there's, yeah, right. No, there's an actual like site where you buy signed memorabilia. And
eBay.
they do sports memorabilia, they do movie memorabilia, like they do everything, anything that's signed
That
with
thing
the,
that comes in the middle of the food court of the mall like twice a year.
no,
Remember those back in the day?
it was real. And
This is authentic. I guarantee it.
apparently he was able to return it because obviously it comes with a certificate of authenticity and all that stuff, and they just gave him his money back, so I
You
didn't
know
get the
that thing is
opportunity.
worth money, man. Like thousands now.
Well, that's what they sell it for on their website, so it's like, I guess I could go to the website and see if there's one up there, but memorabilia, that's just a path that I've never gone down because that stuff gets super expensive. But you have something that will go missing at some point. Listen,
a
if you
couple.
die, put that in the will for me.
No,
I have a
you know what
couple-
I'm talking
I'm
about.
going to steal
I
it
don't-
before you have that chance.
So Chris Gross, very, very good family friend. Known him since I was a kid, actually.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. For our anniversary, he picked us up a Han, Leia. Well, it was an original. I can't remember exactly.
It's the
what it looks
original New Hope poster.
without. Yeah, and I think it's the scene where they're about to like rappel across the bridge, if I remember correctly.
Luke and Leia.
I haven't looked at it in a
swing.
while. It's on my wall, but I'm very observant. Anyway, it's signed by Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill.
Yes.
And it does have a picture of Harrison Ford, but Harrison Ford, that's why I
The
was
hardest of signatures.
literally one of the most difficult things to get a hold of is Harrison Ford's
I'll
actual
give you
real
some.
I mean,
Harrison
you're
Ford
probably going to
signature.
have some more trouble getting Carrie's signature.
See, that's the thing is I looked it up recently and Carrie's has skyrocketed
Of
since
course, 'cause unfortunately she
15 or 16 or
passed
whatever.
away.
Yeah. And then another one I have, we actually met him, was Alan Tudyk. I have a K2SO signed print, and I met him.
He's in my wedding party. I get
and
that by
I literally
default.
on there it says "I will frog you" or whatever, and it's pretty cool. Like we had a nice
Fong?
little Fong. I always mess that up.
It's a Knight's Tale reference.
Fong.
Does it really say that on the... Oh, I didn't catch that. I'll have to look
I was
at it next time
literally
I'm over.
like, you said that and about like
I
how
think it does.
He did a quote.
Or maybe it doesn't,
From-
but he said it. He said it. all
Yeah.
right? And then on there, I think it says something. It's something K2SO said. I can't remember what. Anyway, sorry, Justin. What were you saying?
Oh, I was saying that like I love the idea that he like writes a signature with a quote from a different movie.
Yeah.
If I ever have the opportunity to get a Mark Hamill signature on anything, I'm making him write
Joker.
a Joker quote on
Yeah.
Star Wars memorabilia, like 100%.
Yeah, and I remember when I was a kid, when my parents would be arguing or just when I felt like I was bored or needed some therapeutic music, talk about John Williams' score. I remember putting on the original 1976. Probably was the year, maybe like the end of 76, the original score on vinyl.
it was released before the movie, right?
Yeah.
The LP.
Yep, the long playing record. And anyways, my dad had a record player. Teak, I think was the name of the brand. Mm-hmm. And I remember just wearing that vinyl out. I think I still have it, but for some reason the poster, which it did have a full-size poster that folded out, it's gorgeous. I remember what it looked like. I think it was like you were going through light speed, hyperspace. Anyways, I would just go in there and just blast it. Nothing like John Williams' original score on vinyl.
That's three of the posters that I have on my wall. On my wall for like more memorabilia stuff, I have like Rolling Stones. I have like a Rogue One magazine. Like I like to keep the magazines, and I put them in a.
Yeah, that's awesome up there. You got those comics? Or
Whenever there's a cover.
Yeah, so whenever there's a cover for a magazine for Star Wars, I always buy those because those will eventually, I imagine, be worth something. And they look nice, it kind
They're
of
awesome.
timestamps, that point in history of where they were. But my three favorite things, Natasha's uncle was gracious enough to give me collected in 77, 80, and 83. They were original posters that came in the magazines for those times for the movies. They've never been opened. They're still they're like in a nice like film wrapping, and then they're framed and they're up on the wall. So it's a unfolded poster that's never been opened from the original movies. That's something my
have
favorite.
you looked it up, the price on eBay?
No, that's something that
You're
a
not gonna
family
sell it anyway.
Nah, the family member gave it to me. If anything, I would like open them and mat them like for the actual size of the
I
posters
feel
that
like
they're
if
supposed to
you
be.
unfolded it, there's like a 50% chance
It would
of it
fall
like
apart.
Oh, yeah.
disintegrating.
Maybe.
Well, even the poster that was in that 1976 LP, it was so creased.
Yeah.
you could never make that flat.
And that's actually something recently I just acquired too, was 1983 Return of the Jedi vinyl.
Oh, okay.
That was one I showed you. Natasha's grandfather gave me. So that's a project that I'm
Vintage
trying
vinyls
to.
are a really cool thing to if you can snag those at like because you have also a high chance of like these little tiny corner like antique and thrift stores that just have boxes of vinyls. There's like a good chance if you root through there you can find that, which is like cool. Like even if the vinyl is trashed, just a display of the card.
Was it you telling me the story? Because the vinyl that I was given also has that original T-shirt thing. Like you bought the vinyl.
Yes.
Okay, so this record has one too. Was it you or did I
Hold
look
on,
at?
tell the story because I don't know what you're talking about. What T-shirt thing?
So in the vinyl that Russell has, it had an original. I think it was Chris that told me and you when we were at his house for the baby shower. It has the original. It was a flyer you could fill out if you bought the vinyl. You fill out the
Send it
flyer.
in.
You send it into
And they'll send you back a T-shirt.
and they'll send you back a T-shirt, right?
But I feel like if you did that, they would honor it.
Well, and that's
Like,
what we
do
talked
it
about.
now.
But that's what
Do
we
it.
talked about. But the address is probably some like ancient office building that's been empty for 20 years.
The address is different, but I believe, and that's where I believe where I was getting at was coming from is didn't we look it up and we found out information about they would honor it of some sort? It
That'd
was
be
something
cool.
like that.
I
It
should
was
do
something
it.
like that.
I should
Yeah.
definitely do it. I'm still gonna do it tonight when I get home.
We'll keep it. No, don't write on it.
but I want that T-shirt.
I know, right?
They go to Target and get like the most basic $12.99 Star Wars shirt.
Yeah,
What if-
exactly.
Here you go.
What if it? Well, I remember that was the big deal with the original Boba Fett shooter that never actually came out because they were afraid of like a choking hazard.
Uh-huh.
That was how it was. You basically had to fill out some cards, send it in, and then they'd send you back a Boba Fett action figure.
The one that has the rocket that
Right,
shoots
that
out.
never-
Oh yeah, that shot the
It's
thing.
worth so
never-
much money.
Well, they never released it.
Shout out to the Toys That
Yeah.
Made Us episode.
They released it, and then on the commercial they showed the rocket launching.
Uh-huh.
But then the kids actually got the Boba Fett action figure, and nothing like that ever happened. So
They
they're
started
like,
dying one by one.
"What the heck is going
The
on?"
ET video game all over again. Speaking of Star Wars action figures, Russell.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
segue.
Great. Well, my little story here is obviously, I think I mentioned on the very first, well, you probably couldn't hear me, but on the very first episode of KonKon's Cantina, I mentioned that my daughter is named Jaina.
Uh-huh.
So I, of course, after the original Legends, Jaina Solo. Han and Leia had twins.
Han and Luke.
Han
That's
and
a
Luke.
different Star Wars story.
That's the New Age one.
Yeah.
Han and Leia had twins, Jaina and Jason Solo.
Uh-huh.
They were the younger brother and sister of Anakin.
Yes.
I always mess that up.
Anakin was first.
Anakin was first. Anyways,
Shout outs to the EU.
shout outs.
Rip.
Jason with
Anyways,
his-
so I went out and bought the Jaina Solo Black Edition, and
Yes.
it's up on my wall. And every time,
Black Series.
yeah, I'm sorry, Black Series.
And Justin, you've
that
recently
was my first Black Series.
you've
was
recently
your
gotten
first?
into Black Series.
Oh, don't bring them up. I have fallen so deep into the Black Series hole.
They look great though. I mean, the quality, the detail.
I will say, you know what I have an appreciation for when it comes to the Black Series? Have you guys seen on eBay the people that make their own
Modify.
Black Series heads and then they sell
Yeah.
them?
And they modify, like they make armor pieces. They go like so quick example of that. We have the Mandalorian Black Series that came out, which is extremely hard to find, but
I
it's
have it.
it's this episode 1
Giveaway. Is that going to be a giveaway?
Heck no, it's not going to be a giveaway.
I was kidding, but his face. If
Get the
you
heck
could
outta
only
here.
See his face.
I'm not giving that away to anybody. If,
So-
if Natasha asked for it, she can have it.
No.
So that
Yeah.
version of Din, the Mandalorian, is the very first episode with his old armor. Everybody has like started creating full Beskar sets of armor that you can literally replace the armor on him with
Oh, that's
full
cool.
Beskar. It's super cool.
So I guess it's sold out and worth a ton of money on eBay now. Because
it's worth about 45.
That's not bad.
People kept saying like they were hard to find. I mean, I didn't realize how many people actually wanted him. I've seen him in Target multiple times. I know that
There's
Justin
no way
and
you've seen him multiple times.
multiple times.
I literally go to Target, Walmart, Five Below, and Walgreens every day.
Well,
looking for these
apparently
dang
nobody
figures.
in Winter Garden, Florida wants to go to the Target in Fowler's Grove and find Din Djarin because that's where I found him. And when I found him, there were 3 on the shelf.
You must have
And you
like
didn't
walked
pick
in.
anyone up?
You
Well, that's
must
what I'm saying. Now
have
that I
walked in
I'll add
right
you.
after they stocked the shelf.
I'll
Like,
add
that's-
you. So
Of
I've
course,
got
if
Justin.
you're like Justin, you'll buy me something and then never actually give it to me.
Got him.
Oh, rip.
Got him. Big dig. So Black Series.
I did just buy a Black Series.
Yeah, Black Series. I got in.
Light Side Revan just came out. I pre-ordered it in like September.
Is it available at GameStop? Like on the
No.
shelf?
No, you can only
You
buy
can
it.
only pre-order it.
GameStop now is doing where all their figures. Sorry, I had to tighten that. All of their figures you can only pre-order, and that's how many they're getting in.
I asked,
And later they
'cause I would have
might
picked up an extra.
So
one
they
for
might
ya.
re-release.
restock later.
Yeah.
But you can also watch the GameStop app because they're restocking on the app before they do in store.
I'll have to do that then
But they
because
are
I do
selling
want
for a
Jedi.
lot. I looked it up. There's on eBay. They're selling for.
They're around 45, 50 right
I
now.
thought they were like 60, but I mean,
Maybe
for a
when
Black
they-
Series, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So the Black Series, if you don't know, Black Series are 6-inch figures. They usually come in black boxes, hence the Black Series. They can come in different boxes.
High detail, high articulation points where you can move them and pose them.
We
Mo-
black.
Most people most people using the Black Series figures are using them for toy
Toy
photography,
photography.
which may sound stupid,
It
but
is so fun.
you would be amazed at some of the pictures that people get with Black Series figures. But I started doing Black Series figures when Force Awakens came out. I have 1 through 6, and then I bought just people that I thought would be important one day that could essentially be resold. I don't have an attachment to toys. I would only buy them if I think they're going to be worth money. my two prized possession is a Gamorrean guard, which was a Target exclusive, which is currently worth $60, which I only bought it for $18, so it's already worth double more than I paid for it, triple. And my prototype Boba Fett, which was a Walgreens exclusive. Actually, my Force Ghost Obi-Wan is worth about $40 right now too.
I just looked it up. So the Jedi Knight Revan is $52 in hand. The eBay seller has it in hand for $52.
In hand. That means you have to pick it up locally.
Yeah, right. Does it? I thought it just meant he has it so he can ship it.
Yeah, but these Black Series are addictive because I have a completionist mentality where like
Dangerous road.
yeah, like I see it like in my head, like I'm not gonna buy everything. I have like a collection of, so one of the things I want all the bounty hunters. So I want Dengar and I want Bosk and I want
Bosk is expensive.
I have Bosk. I already got him.
What, they released a re-released Black Series of Bosk?
They have their archive editions.
Oh,
which
okay.
are on a cardboard card.
We need to
is
talk
the
about this
same-
off air because forget that junk.
It's the same exact figure. I'm opening it anyway.
No, I know, but you
Calcestis.
need like the original, like, because they have the orange series, they have the blue series.
Yeah, the orange stripe, then the blue stripe.
Yeah, that's what that Bosk is really
It's
expensive.
the same Bosk, but yes, but I'm opening it, so I didn't buy the super expensive one.
Oh, okay, but they did re-release Bosk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. See,
So
I get that.
I'm here looking up Black Series on eBay. There's a Cal Kestis, and it even comes with his
I
little
have
droid.
two
BD1.
of the Cal Kestis already. I have one
I
open
love
and one
that.
sealed,
Comes with a little droid guy.
and I have a second sister, one open and one sealed, and Five Below. Shout out to Josh, my boy Josh Soreo, who today, through both of our hunting, we hit up probably 10 Five Belows.
Jeez.
And we found the mother load. He found 2 cases, and we got all of the freaking figures for $5 a piece.
Speaking of places where we spend
have all
way
these
too much
shelves.
money, I know, right?
They're in boxes.
And that's something that, like, that's the hard thing
Put more
about
shelves up.
that's the hard thing about Black Series is they have numbers on the side of the boxes. And like you were saying about your collector and
You're like,
completionist
I can't
mentality, you
not
got to have
have
1, 2, 3, 4. You got to have them all. But speaking of places where we spend money, Star Wars events and or cons.
Oh man,
A
so much
cosplayer-
money could be spent,
Dude.
and cosplay thrown into that mix for sure.
That's where a lot of my money has come into. I don't think I've really I've posted like my Disney bounding outfit on Instagram, but none of the other things.
You posted up your Jedi armor outfit like as you had just finished it.
I think that's just in like
Briefly.
the story though, right? The
Yeah.
crew story. I haven't put. We need to take some legit pictures
We
with
need
that
to
one
finish
though.
mine. And
Yeah,
then
we
we'll,
need- we
we'll
need
do
to-
like a troop. Like
Yeah,
an
we
Old
need to-
Republic Jedi troop picture.
Yeah, we need to work on that for sure.
And you guys can fight me.
Oh yeah, because you're Revan. Yeah, we're doing that. So is there any like a favorite, con in Florida? We are pretty lucky. We have MegaCon, which has become
It's
a
a good one.
premier con.
Yep.
Solid.
So
Tampa Bay Comic Con that comes in there.
haven't been to Tampa Bay Comic Con.
I hear Tampa Bay is actually really good.
Yeah, we should go to. Well, did we miss it? I can't remember if we missed it this year or not. I don't think we did. I think it's coming up.
I think it's coming up.
I think it's towards the end of the year.
But talking about lightsabers is you always, especially at the con, MegaCon, Saberforge, of course, Ultra Sabers are there. But the big thing right now with Saberforge is if you order a saber, you're not getting it until like August because they're like 8,000 orders in.
Yeah.
But they always bring really nice sabers to the con. So if you bring money, you can buy them and take it home,
They like to
Same
say
day.
you get con prices too.
which you don't.
You don't.
You don't.
I like that.
But you get it
Is
right
that
away.
KON.
Me and you did get a KON price, a con price on our Star-Lord jackets though at the last MegaCon.
Yeah, we were conned.
Hey, I like my. You know what? My Star-Lord cosplay is premiering at
Russell says that,
MegaCon.
but that man has pulled that jacket out any day. It's
I
lower
love
than
it.
60 degrees.
I love my
Yeah.
jacket, but you looked it up. You looked it up as we were leaving. They're
Yeah,
like,
we-
dude, it's
we
like
did-
$10 cheaper on Amazon.
Yeah, we did
We could
get
have
conned.
literally $2 ship 2 day shipping for free. It would have
Yeah.
been cheaper.
But we did get to try it on,
Yes,
so it is
And-
what it is.
and we talked to the nice little girls.
We did.
Stop being
If
a
I had
creeper.
like a bucket list, con, it would have to be just the OG. Actually,
San Diego.
I have San Diegoans. I have two. I have a realistic and a non-realistic. So non-realistic is definitely San Diego Comic-Con. If you've never like looked up cosplay, look up cosplay montages on YouTube and you will just be amazed at looking at costumes that people have built. It will literally blow your mind.
Which right now
So
is
we're
like
gonna have Alice and Tabitha on our show.
Who
because
dat?
She's one of the main Orlando area cosplayers. She does a really good Wonder Woman. You showed me her on your Instagram.
She's here in Florida?
She is literally Orlando.
I did not know that.
I think I might have seen her at Millennia once, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Justin, what were you going to say?
I don't remember.
Okay. San Diego
Sorry.
Comic-Con is definitely like wish list. You have to be invited to that now. It's not like a street level thing anymore.
So it's kind of like a oh man, what's the car show?
Exclusivity.
What's the car?
SEMA.
Yeah, it's kind of like SEMA,
It's
where
like
you have to be
SEMA.
an industry person to be able to get into that show at this point.
And then as an industry person, you can get in other people. Realistically, I think that we should actually plan like maybe 2021 to all go to Dragon Con, which is in Georgia. That is like top 10 premier cons in the United States, and we should do that for
Atlanta?
sure. Yeah, dude, we should do that.
So Dragon Con looks really awesome. I do want to go to that, but I'm really happy with what we have locally with MegaCon and the vendors and the artists and the actors and personalities that we've been able to start pulling into our local show in Orlando.
The really cool thing about DragonCon, it's like this running joke, is they have this amazing carpet pattern. And it's like an inside costume contest where people try to make their costume match the pattern of the floor. Like they actually, like there's Spider-Mans who have made full Spider-Man costumes where it matches the same pattern as the floor. And then they lay on the floor. That's
become
hilarious.
Venom? No.
Exactly. Yeah, right. But yeah, MegaCon, it's always good. I do think it's gotten a little bit expensive. They have become what's considered a premier con.
It's gotten pricey.
It's gotten really expensive.
Over $100 for all 4 days easily.
Yeah, it's for a Saturday's like $75.
I didn't even think about that.
It's become
Because I've always
expensive.
gotten in free. Like the last 3 MegaCons, I've gone like Thursdays or Fridays, and I've gotten in free because my good friend coworker Jack has got me in. And actually, we're gonna be there this year.
Did we take off Friday? Is that what we did the last time?
I feel like we did.
Yeah, I think that's what we did too.
I know,
We took off that Friday.
Yeah. So this year we're going, and we're gonna be in his booth. We're gonna be recording a live episode there, maybe 2.
Let's do it.
And
Gonna interview
interviewing
some
some
people.
artists, some comic artists, and it's going to be great. Connor, you said you were going to be going as 3 different people?
Yeah, I've got some different costumes lined up for
No spoilers?
no spoilers.
I won't
Even
say
though I
either.
spoiled them already.
I'm
But
going as Fat Thor.
listen, we wanted to talk about some personal Star Wars events, but we're going to be saving the Star Wars event talk for another episode. So thanks for joining us this week, guys. We wanted to talk about something different, something to give you some insights as us, like the crew, talk about things that we're collecting, things that we're spending our money on. Usually if you're a nerd or you're part of that culture, you're usually spending money on memorabilia or, whatever it may be. So feel free, get on Facebook.
Everybody's got their thing.
Get on Facebook, join the group, post pictures of the stuff that you collect.
We had an awesome chain going on of everybody posting up pictures of their like nerd cave, their nerd room. Like
we need
all
to
of
bring
their
that
stuff.
back.
Yeah,
we did. Out of all the people, I didn't post my room.
Yeah, I think so far Niles has cleanly swept up as the number 1 nerd room.
His Batman collection is pretty legit. He's got some Batman statues that are nice.
All the black and whites.
I've been up in my game. I put some shelves up, and I'll need to take some pictures of it. But
I like your thing. You kind of like got your little like Irish pub thing going in the front of your house with the pool table and the darts and the wet bar. I like
guess
that.
I got 2 man caves.
Yeah.
I'm
Kind
not
of like,
bragging or anything.
hey, sometimes, listen, the bat's got to go different places sometimes, but listen, guys, thanks for joining us again. I was your boy, it's KonKon, followed by
Justin Baker, we out.
Russell Allen. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.